So, Alyx put out a video today, and where he basically revealed that he had an epiphany, and that is that from now on in, or from here on in, he's just gonna try to be himself. He's not gonna try to, please one side of, the factor, over the other, and vice versa. He's just gonna be himself. And I heard what he had to say, and I'll link it at the end of the video here. But I want to say this in response. You see, when I first kind of had that revelation, as I just checked something there, and my finger hit the mic a little bit, I do apologize. Let me just adjust that there. But like I said, when I kind of had a similar situation, it was a couple of years ago, several years ago, and I realized that, mainly a lot of the people that were getting on me, they were trying to, discourage me. They were trying to, get me to leave YouTube and stuff like that. All it really was people that, in my opinion, to quote what Alyx said yesterday in his video about WWE calling out AEW, it's just about, people who had, yet grown the F up, if you know what I mean. Long story short, just the way some of these comments that these people were making on my videos, even in the live chat, some of these sounded very immaturish and very childish, if you will. And from what I've been able to understand and find out, basically most of these people that make these comments try to harass people like me, discourage people like me, as well as people like Alyx. They try to call us hypocritical, weird, every name under the book, or in the book, if you will. I basically found out, and I've got the Chiefs and the Steelers on right now in the background if you hear anything. But I eventually found out that mainly what a lot of these people are, these trolls, as they would become known, just based off their comments and their childish remarks and everything, is, they're just is basically these trolls, they're just a bunch of kids. They're just a bunch of kids, they're a bunch of preteens, teenagers, college students who, haven't, really taken the time to understand why, people like myself, people like Alyx, people like, JD from NY206, people like the Bronies and the Pegasus Sisters and all that. These are a bunch of people that, just haven't taken the time and effort to kind of research and look up why we like certain things the way we do. Why we like to discuss certain things the way we do. And, to them, due to the fact that they, due to the fact that them not doing that kind of, research, putting in that effort to kind of understand why, we're the way we are, why we like the things the way we like them, why we're opinionated, and, in the things we say, why we're not afraid, to say the things we want to say. It's basically because, they don't care to. They don't care to, and what they're doing mainly is they're trying to get themselves noticed. They're trying to get the name out there at the expense of degrading other people by saying, things to them that are unjustified or unfounded. And sometimes I even pointed this out when I sent a letter as part of a P.O. Box unboxing that Animat of Animat's reviews had done, or was doing at the time, a couple years ago, and it was very similar, if not identical, to one that I did to Zara Nizarak of the Multimedia Chronicles. I basically said, because both he at one point, or a few points that you would look in the comments of some of the videos he was doing, that being Animat, and then sometimes you'd see something similar with Zara Nizarak, and then there were a few others like Ninkara, AVGN, James Rolfe, Channel Awesome, and all that. The reason you would start seeing a lot of these trolls show up with these childish remarks, these immature, sayings, if you will, and you could tell that, like I said, they're very childish and immaturish, if you will, because of the fact that the way they would type them up, like they would be, mainly they'd be like lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase with the words, and they would say things a certain way. And I recall bringing up an opinion as to why I thought that was. And the reason I thought that was, and I still believe this, is because a lot of these people that are these trolls, these preteens, teens, whatever you want to call them, I guess you could say up-and-coming college students that just starting college or something, people that don't want to go out there and get a job now that jobs are open and hiring, and even back then the same way. The reason they do this isn't because they're trying to draw attention to themselves and everything, and try to basically embarrass folks like us and say, see, what you're into is boring, it's stupid, da 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 da. No. Or, oh, you're hypocritical because you don't like this and that, da 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 da. No, it's none of that. I think what it is it's twofold. Like I said, I think it's because they want attention, because if they have a YouTube channel, what better way to get attention on their channel, get attention maybe on their social media or whatever, than to berate, troll, established, well-renowned, or maybe semi-well-renowned YouTube personas, if you know what I mean. The same thing with Twitter. On Twitter, you're going to have people berating certain well-known personas from sports, and entertainment and everything, to the point that those people have to delete their Twitter account, or they have to make their Twitter account private, or whatever the case may be, to avoid all this. And the only reason they're doing it is because they want, like I said, they want attention. They want attention on themselves. They want to get their names out there. And getting back on point here, when I would send, when I would send that letter, or the similar letters, to Matt Burnett of Animat's reviews and Zara Nizarak and Multimedia Chronicles, one of the things I said in there that I think is one of the main reasons that they do this isn't because they want that attention. Like I said, it's twofold. They do it because it's also in their minds, their immature, childish, pubically, hormonal minds, if you will. It's their way of sending a message to YouTube and Google that, hey, you want us to stop trolling these people? You want us to stop, berating them, downgrading them and all that? Then give us what we want. And mainly, most of the time, when you find out that these trolls are, again, immature, childish preteens, mostly male preteens or teens, period, or even, college students that are starting out, when you find out that it's, that a majority of these people behind, these kind of comments are of the male gender, you also find out that, to an extent, why they're doing it. And again, like I said, it's not just about seeking attention, for themselves and their channel and the social media and all that. But again, it's sending a message to YouTube that, hey, you want us to stop doing that? Then give us what we want. Give us that XXX rated material. Yeah, you heard me right. XXX rated material. And what I mean by that is they want YouTube to allow the women's upper regions and bottom regions, if you know what I'm saying, to be exposed and shaked in front of the camera, or teased and shaked in front of the camera, whatever the case may be, just to satisfy their urges. That's what they want. You know, that's what they want. And if they have to berate people like me, berate people like Alyx, berate people like James Wolfe, Doug Walker, Sean McLean, aka Zara Nazarak, Matt Burnett, you know, of Animats Reviews and so on, if they have to go on these trollistic, you know, tirades, if you will, by, you know, trying to degrade us by saying, oh, you live in your mother's basement, or oh, you don't have no this, you know, just insults out the wazoo. You know, just because they want attention on their channel, the attention on their social media, but mostly because they want to tell YouTube, hey, give us the XXX material we want that I described. You know, if they feel they need to do that, then they're going to keep doing it. But here's the thing, what they don't realize is YouTube and Google will not go down that path. And what they're also starting to realize with people like me, and now Alyx, and many others that have come before me, before Alyx, and even those that are going to come afterwards, you know, with these same epiphanies and revelations, is, you know, they're not going to win. Because you see what I do, when I look at the comments of my videos sometimes, and I see these people making these comments, you know, on my videos, all I do is I just laugh it off and I ignore it. I just laugh it off, ignore it, and remove it. That's it. ILIR. Laugh it off, ignore it, remove it. You know, or LFIR. Laugh it off, you know, ignore it, remove it. And that's it. And I also do that with some of my live streams. I mean, recently I just had somebody try to, you know, troll into one of my recent live streams, and I hid them. I technically semi-blocked them, so that they wouldn't, so that whatever they were saying wouldn't be seen. The point is, when you get down to it, the real reasoning behind, you know, the real reasoning behind a lot of these trollistic actions, not just on YouTube, but on social media like Twitter and Facebook, is because people, mostly of the male gender, and I say that being a male myself, is all they want is attention on themselves. They want attention on them. They want attention on the social media. They want attention on their YouTube. They want the attention. They want the spotlight. But also they want more. And when it comes to what some of these people would do to a Ty Conte or a Liv Morgan and all that, chasing, among other female entities on, let's say, Twitter and Facebook, chasing them off temporarily, if not permanently, they do it because of the fact that these women are beautiful women. And honestly, because of their beauty, they don't care about what they type up on Twitter and saying, oh, this is what I did today or whatever. No, all they care about is, hey, give us what we want. You know, give us what we want, okay? Give us those goods, as they would look at it. That's why they troll and berate these people. Not because of, oh, well, you were supposed to be with, oh, you're the reason that, you know, Sammy Guevara and his girlfriend broke up, or, you know, you don't deserve to be in the main event along with the likes of Becky or Charlotte, whatever. You know, it's not just because of that. Because, again, they feel that saying that kind of stuff will get them that attention they want. But it's also in their minds that if they berate, you know, people like Liv and Ty and others, you know, on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, that they'll get what they want. That they believe Liv and Ty will come out and say, what is it going to take for you guys to leave us alone? What do you want? In their minds, in their sick, twisted minds, they'll tell them, hey, show us the goods. That's what they would want. That's what they would want. Show us the goods. And sometimes it's not just that either. Sometimes what it is, ironically, is the fact that they will look at someone like, let's say, Alyx, and see that the fact that he's trying to promote himself and not understand that, yeah, he's out there like myself and others seeking employment outside of YouTube. outside of making money on YouTube. But honestly, what they see, instead of that, what they see is someone that's an egotistic person. That, because to them, when they would watch a video of his or a live stream, what's one of the first things he tells people? Like the video, check me out at all these other areas. And to them, that's someone that, may be promoting his brand and everything, but is not getting off his keister to get a job. He's not getting off his keister to get a real job and everything. He's not doing that. He's not getting off his keister to get a real job or anything, if you know what I mean. And that's how people will view someone like him. Heck, that's how people sometimes will view someone like, let's say, Angry Joe. Joe Vargas, if you will. They view someone like him and they're like, well, why aren't you getting off your keister to get a real job instead of just sitting on it all the time? And they will troll him too. And sometimes they will hack into accounts like Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter and all that, just to send a message of, hey, if we can do this to you, what else can we do? And it isn't because, we want to use somebody else's profile to get money, to bribe people out of money and all that. No. They do it sometimes basically because they want to send a message of, hey, if I can do this to you, what else can I do? So why don't you, in their minds, why don't you get off your keister and get a real job? That's the message they're trying to send. Not understanding that, hey, this is a job for some people like Alyx. Not understanding this is a job for people like Angry Joe and James Wolfe and Doug Walker and all them. Not realizing that. Yes, they could go and get a job probably without a problem. Okay? They could probably go and get a job without a problem. But for them, this is the primary job. I mean, Alyx even pointed out himself. In the time he's been making money off here on YouTube, he has made more than he's ever made, doing the various jobs he's done outside. Not saying he's not going to have a regular, employment outside of YouTube. He will. But because he is so consistent, or tries to be consistent in doing what he's doing, it's become a full-time, sort of a semi-full-time job for him. Hold on. Like I said, to him, it's, mainly become like a full-time job, or a semi-full-time job because of, what he does to commit to it. And then he's got the podcast he does with his friend, his friends, if you will, the raw cowardice or whatever. The point that I'm getting at, I know since I'm going off and rambling a lot here, I do apologize. But the point I'm getting at is some people don't understand that to a lot of folks here on YouTube and on social media, this is a full-time job. This is the daily life. And that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. But again, to them, to people that want to hack Instagrams and Facebooks and Twitters, there is something wrong. And, was it wrong for Alyx to have his original OG Instagram hacked? Absolutely. But that person did it mainly because of the fact, in my opinion, that not because they wanted to, basically troll Alyx and steal his stuff and maybe hope to steal a lot more than that. But they did it because I think in their minds, they're sending a message to Alyx that, hey, if I can do this to you, what else can I take from you that helps make you money or helps to get you some financial gain? Just saying. I know that may not make sense, but I'm just saying, think about that for a second. Think about that for a second as I check the time there. But again, like I said, think about that for a second. The point is what I'm getting at, because I know, like I said, I rambled off a little off topic, or kind of tried to stay within topic, is the people that come on here and they look at Alyx, they look at me, they look at JD, they look at Salamonster, they look at Animat, they look at Linkara, they look at James Rolfe, they look at Doug Walker, Angry Joe, the list goes on. they look at us and they don't think they don't think basically what we do is intriguing. What they think what we do and talk about or interested in, is dumb. It's pathetic. And if you're a wrestling fan or a fan of anything in this day and age nowadays, you can't go on YouTube or social media and give an opinion without some kind of a troll, maybe a drone, whatever they want to call them, coming out and saying, oh, you don't understand and you're this and that or whatever. You can't do anything without something like this happening. So I'm glad people like Alyx are finding have found the courage, I should say, to finally just be themselves and ignore the crap that comes their way. I mean, heck, I did a video about what happened at a furry convention back in Chicago several years ago. And to me, it was one of the stupidest, heinous things that could ever be done. At a convention of all things. And I don't know if the people that did it were found, but apparently what it was, whoever did it, were people that don't like people of the furry community. They don't like them, they don't get them, and they feel that, hey, if I don't understand and get it, then why should these people exist? Or why should this community exist? And when you have people going that far, trolls, if you will, bullies, cyber bullies, whatever, going that far, it just shows you that, again, like I said at the beginning, unless they do the research, unless they take the time and do the research and find out why people like myself, people like Alyx, people like, JD and Animat and the Bronies and Pegasus, the communities of MLP and all that, in the wrestling community, if they don't take their time to research and find out why we love it, and then think to them, and then after doing that research realize, oh, I guess there is something here, and to kind of get invested in, or oh, there is something here that might be more than what we're suspecting. So to me, I think it's just a bunch of people that just don't take their time. They just don't take their time, period, to research and understand. That's what it is. That's what it is when you get down to it. But I know this video has been going long and everything, and I do apologize for that. And it seems like I may have gotten a little off topic, but the thing is, I'm glad Alyx and others, others after him and even before him, like myself and Animat and all them, they're looking at what's going on. They're looking at all these trolls, these people that are making these, these comments, and everything. And I am glad, I am thrilled, that basically we can, now look at these things, laugh them off, and move on. Because all it is for these trolls, these drones, these, as I said it before, from what I can tell, from what I've heard, these preteens, teens, just in college, just starting college life, males, which mostly they are, unfortunately, and basically those are the pubic, hormonic, levels. All it is for them is about getting attention, on themselves, and also sending a message to YouTube and those on social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook, mostly the ladies of the celebrity stature or sports stature, of, hey, you want us to stop cyberbullying you on Twitter? You want us to stop harassing you on Facebook? Then show us the goods. And to YouTube, it's like, hey, you want us to stop harassing these people on YouTube? These, up-and-coming YouTube personas, or these established, well-renowned YouTube celebrity personas? You want us to stop doing that? Then give us what we want. Give us that XXX material we want. And that's what it is. And again, they just don't understand and get the facts that it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. And they need to realize that. They need to live with that. But again, I'm glad someone like Alyx is, finally just going to be himself and, ignore the trolls, basically. The drones, if you will. But what are your thoughts, guys? Comment down below, live chat if you like. Again, I know I may have gone a little off topic here, but let me know what your thoughts are, and I am out.